I realized that it's okay to fail and it's okay to fall down, and you just got to get back up and keep pushing at it.
So what made you decide to major in construction engineering?
So I originally wanted to be an aerospace engineer. I came to Purdue, mainly for that reason. And I came here, and I just throughout the FYE curriculum realized it wasn't really for me. It wasn't exactly what I expected. So then I met with Brandon in the construction engineering department, and me and him had a conversation about what to expect from the major and what it was about. And I just felt like that small, tight-knit community, while still having an application of being a hands-on engineer, would probably be the best fit for me. And it's 3 years later been the best decision I've made so far.
That's awesome. So as a Purdue engineering student, I'm sure you have a lot of difficult coursework.
Mm-hmm.
How do you find a balance between your courses and then a life outside of that?
You just have to stay organized. My first semester was definitely a struggle. You kind of get here and you hit the ground running. A lot of the college courses and all these fairs and jobs, and all of a sudden there's so many things that you have to do now. But you just have to stay organized. You have to set aside time during the day where you need to just better yourself and give yourself time to go to a club or go to the gym or go outside and play with friends. Obviously, all the dorms are near the intramural fields, so you get to be outside a lot, and you got to embrace that, or else engineering is going to be a lot harder than it has to be.
That's so true. So when you got to Purdue, did you struggle with making friends at all, or how did you go about making new friends?
I definitely think clubs and organizations are the best way to do that. Most typical organizations will have their call-out meetings within the first 2 weeks. A lot of the friends that I have now are through the clubs and organizations that I went to in those first 2 weeks. A lot of other people will network with their roommates or network with their floors. I found a lot of the dorms and a lot of people that I've spoken to have an open door policy their first week. So people just walk in and out of each other's rooms. Everybody's in the same boat, and a lot of people forget that. So it's definitely important to remember.
Oh, yeah. I definitely agree that the student organizations are key to making those friends. So thinking back to when you were a freshman, what is one thing you would do completely different your first year, if you could go back?
One thing I would do completely different. I would honestly say don't get too beat up over yourself. An engineering curriculum is going to be extremely hard, and the first semester I was getting grades that I didn't really want and I didn't really expect. I did really well in high school, and then I came here and I was like, you know what, I'll be fine not studying for an exam, or I'll be fine only putting in a couple hours a week on homework. And I was humbled pretty quick. So once I figured that out and I realized that it's okay to fail and it's okay to fall down, and you just got to get back up and keep pushing at it and kind of lower your expectations for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So kind of being at Purdue for a while, when do you think you started to feel at home at Purdue?
I probably felt at home once basketball season started, my freshman year. No, the biggest reason that I came to a big school like this was to have that college athletics atmosphere that, you finish class on Fridays and Saturdays and you go to basketball and football games. So fortunately I was enough to witness the run in 2024 when we went to the national championship. So being at those games and being in that environment with the paint crew and the student section, it's unlike any other feeling in the world. Mackey it's entirely different beast. So very, very cool.
Wow. I can't wait for basketball season, honestly.
You've got a lot to look forward to.
So, you talked a lot about Mackey and Ross-Ade and stuff. What is your favorite tradition at Purdue?
My favorite tradition at Purdue. So the first weekend I was at Purdue, we played Fresno State my freshman year, which we unfortunately lost. But that morning I wasn't really expecting it, but the Boilermaker Special came around campus and was blaring the horn. And it scared me out of my sleep on a Saturday morning, and I wasn't really expecting it. But the culture that surrounds the athletics and the chants and the traditions and, the game day atmosphere, it's like I said, it's unlike anywhere else that I've seen.
That's so great. I can't wait. So if you could give any piece of advice to a first-year engineering student, what would it be?
It kind of goes back to what I was saying in the beginning. Get involved and make your mark. Being at college is not just about getting good grades and getting an education and making sure that you're the highest in the class, and, get involved, get out there. You can make so much more of an impact in an organization, and, going out into the world, being a part of a club, not only by networking, but just also the fact that it's enjoyable, right? You're making just as many steps towards progressing your career as you are in the classroom, and you're having probably a lot more fun doing it. So it's equally important, especially to job application one day, that you're equally involved outside of the classroom than you are inside the classroom. So from day one, hit the ground running, get involved, and find your home. Everybody, it's going to be different for everybody.
Absolutely. That's so great. So what are you involved in?
So I'm in Greek life, and on top of that, I'm also a fundraising chairman for Special Olympics College. So we get to do a lot of cool work with them.
Yeah.
I'm also a peer counselor at the Office of Future Engineers. So we help inspire like undergrad recruitment and stuff like that. Work with engineering information sessions. And I am also a College of Engineering ambassador. So we get to work with alumni and get to really cool banquets and just kind of work alongside all of the people that came before us and show them why they should still feel like they have a place back here. I don't know if they wanted an outro.
Is this the outro? Are they still filming?
I guess so.